Hello, Dawn here from Cyprus again. I thought today I'd better show you how we live off-grid. Just a basic look at what we have here that gives us our off-grid living. So I know it's a little bit dark in here because this is our generator room, but here is a little look at the huge old generator. This was already here when we moved in. We haven't had to do very much to it. Of course, when it does fall apart and doesn't work anymore, we will get something smaller and better. And I'll show you what this is used for. This is one of our indoor switches, so we can start the generator from the house on a winter rainy day. Also rigged up in our house is this pull cord where we can turn the generator off on a cold, rainy, wet day. The generator is run by diesel. This is the diesel storage tank with a little indicator here to show us how full it is. The main use of our generator is for this borehole, which, if you like, is a very deep water well. This goes down to a spring feed, and this is our supply of water to our property. So therefore, it's so far down that we need the generator to work the pump to bring the water into the roof of the house, into a tank on the roof. We also use the generator on really bad weather days in the winter, just for additional power to our solar panels. When we first moved in, there was just a solar panel on the roof, and this was the only power to the house, apart from obviously the generator. And all this did was created some light and a little tiny bit of power for an evening. It was no good for living full time. So as soon as we moved in, we bought some solar panels and put them on the roof on a frame. As you can see, there's now only one frame left on the roof. We did have frames all the way across. And here is the water tank where the water gets pumped for use of the house. The spring water was tested and it was found to be suitable for drinking water. But we chose not to do it as the spring itself is very near to our house, and we go and fill containers with the natural spring water for drinking. Also, if you do use it for drinking water, you have to pay for every few months to have it tested to make sure it stays at the drinking level. So we chose not to do that. You can also see the panels here that change the water into hot water. When the water's being pumped up, we can actually turn a valve and let a lot of the water come into this huge irrigation tank. This is purely for watering the garden. And you will see that our neighbour used to leave his open and use it also as a pool for when his grandchildren came over. But we have to cover it over, which we want to anyway, to stop mosquitoes, even though we have a man that comes once a month to check if we have any problems, which we don't. Here is the board that is attached to every rural property and farmland where there is water. And the man comes and marks every time he's been to check And he also makes a case of speaking to you if you're about to check you have no other mosquito problems in your area. This man is also responsible for checking the spring, and the same sign is down by the spring. You can see we've covered ours, well, it was already covered before we moved in, with tin sheets with stones on, because being on my boundary fence, this is my driveway here, so being on the boundary, we have to make sure goats don't climb over, because we were told once a goat gets in, even a goat herder cannot get them out and they will drown. In this shot you can also see the chimney from our log fire, a real open fire. Here is our open real wood fire, and we have plenty of wood in our garden, let alone surrounding areas, so we will never run out of wood. So therefore burning this doesn't cost us anything. And we also like to burn the pine cones. We have so many different types of wood, creating different aromas. Though we initially had solar panels we bought and put on the roof, we decided to buy these automated tilt and turn tracker system solar panels, which gives you every amount of sun you could possibly accumulate, because they turn at different points during the day and follow the sun. When we arrived at this property, this outside door led into the rest of the building, which wasn't built like this. I'll show you a picture inserted as how this bit was, but it was all one big outside storeroom. We've put a small wall between this door and the rest of the building and knocked through from this part, so it now joins to the house with some steps down to make an additional bedroom. The reason we kept this outside door and put a wall inside to divide it off was this makes a great aerated room for the battery, and also you'll see the water tower runs through this area. So obviously, although it's internal, it's also external, and just in case the tank overflows, this is where it runs to, and with a slope out just in case. So let me show you the battery room, and you'll also see the tower for the water tank. So as you can see, this is the tower. So though we're semi inside, it's just a covered area, and this is where the framework is that goes through the roof to the rest of the water tank. And here we have the window into the kitchen, so we can easily look through from inside through the kitchen window to the workings of the batteries, so we can read where the power is and how things are going with that. If you want to know more about our batteries and the whole solar system, then I'll put a link in the description below to my husband's channel, who deals with all things solar, electric and so forth. So if you've got any questions, he's pretty much somebody who can help you out. We've had all different types of batteries, and he can give you really good info on that. He may not have had all his videos up at this point, but he can answer your questions. So this is our battery room, and as I say, the door is perfect because you need to have good airflow with batteries. And here is Pebbles, who likes to come and be in a lot of my videos. Fossil is normally out and about, but Pebbles is more of a home bird. And here's some other ways we live off-grid and live a frugal life, a very natural, rural way of living. All our wastewater from the shower and the kitchen and the washing machine all go into different planting areas. Our outdoor sinks, again, also drain into planting areas. We reuse, repurpose and recycle everything we find. These are old water tanks that we've turned on their sides and we use for our wood storage. We use old pallets for so many projects here. Mike spends a lot of time taking them apart and using the best pieces of wood for projects such as fixing old chair frames, and he's even making a kitchen out of the recycled pallets. Update on this to come. He repurposed this old bench. We just found the frame, so he used some pallets to make this good. And he's built a whole array of different shaped tables, different heights and sizes. And he always uses 3 legs only. And the reason for this is they can stand on any unstable, unflat surface without wobbling. He has a video on how to make these and the different designs, sizes, shapes and patterns. So check the description below for the link to his video on this. Some more of Mike's pallet wood crafts. So to see about these, check out the link in the description below for Mike's channel. We also grow everything permaculture, eco and organic, including our olives, which we turn into olive oil. Again, check the links below for any more information on any of these things, and I'll link you to videos and other associated videos. Using all sorts of things to grow in, as I've done in many videos, my cat bags, which seems to provide good protein for plants to help them begin to grow. And another repurpose I've done is we found these 2 old rabbit cages. There's another one behind this long one, which are great for putting seeds in or small plants to stop butterflies or birds, or our problem here, chameleons. We have also spotted a rabbit in the garden. And as you can see, another container here. We have so many repurposed and recycled containers. This one, funny enough, is actually a vegetable drawer we found on the roadside from an old fridge. And the funniest part of all, it actually has the word vegetables on it. There, see? I think that's quite amusing.